So I have actually been highly anticipating playing Aura Kingdom 2 for a long while now. I've played quite a bit of the PC incarnation of the game over the years, and at the beginning of its life, it was a very fun game. After returning to it years later, the game is a hot mess, sure, but I went into the mobile port hoping that it would elaborate on what made Aura Kingdom a lot of fun for me. Considering the game just launched, I figured, you know what, now would probably be the opportune moment to do a video on the game. So, yeah. Here we are. Just the character creation alone is incredible in this game. Like, well, not necessarily the freedom you have over your character. You barely have any options for your character at all. You have a few faces, a few hairstyles, and a couple of different colors to choose from. But your character itself, although fairly basic, actually looks amazing. I never expected the character models to look as good as they do, so color me impressed. And while there's no real customization overall, you do have the ability to add some accessories, which, I don't know, is a thing, I guess. Before we get into the actual game, though, I do want to stress the fact that I opted out of notifications, but to play Aura Kingdom 2, you have to allow them to send you notifications, something that just irks me to no end. And then we get into the game, and there are actual cutscenes. Lots and lots of cutscenes. This is great. I am a sucker for story, but the more I progressed through the story, the more I felt as though it was more of kinda like a generic mobile game story. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about. You do. It is that same like copy-paste story that you find in literally every mobile MMO ever. Add on to the fact that the entire game almost is autoplay. Honestly, it killed my excitement a little bit. I'm aware that we're not required to enable or utilize autoplay, but it just made it easier to let play while I played games on my PC. And yeah, I got fairly bored with it. I made it to level 28 something by the time I finished recording, and all it had me do were some pretty basic fetch and retrieve quests with the odd kill a few monsters in there here and there. And you know, like, this isn't an issue though. Most MMOs follow this very same formula, but for the most part, you're forced to do it yourself, which leaves you feeling involved. At the very least, my Eidolon skills had to be clicked manually, so I guess it's something that I needed to do, but it didn't really do much. Like a small burst of damage every few minutes was not enough to really warrant my attention. Boss fights actually required attention though, as bosses used AoEs and telegraphed attacks that required active dodging and mitigation. Those were some of the only times that I was actually required to play the game, and if this was more prevalent, Aura Kingdom 2 would probably be a lot more entertaining. Interestingly enough, where most mobile games spam you with tutorials for the entire first hour, this actually did not. At all. It just threw me in there and expected me to know what I was doing, and that was refreshing. Like, I cannot begin to tell you how boring it is to navigate through hours of tutorials. Like, I prefer figuring things out myself, and I've played more than my fair share of not only mobile games, but also MMORPGs to know how to not only play a mobile game, but to also play an MMO. I was also required to manually equip my gear without an auto-equip button, and that is almost revolutionary for a mobile MMO. Realistically, outside of group content like dungeons or raids though, I do not see much of a point to the multiplayer aspect of the game. You don't need a group with people out in the world, much in the same way as every other mobile MMO. And while the game looks beautiful, the characters especially, there really isn't a whole lot that actively requires your attention. The game looks great, it plays well, but at the end of the day, it's just another pretty copy-paste mobile MMO that doesn't bring anything new to the table. But this is my opinion, my impressions of the game. What do you guys think though? Does it look like something you'd be interested in? Let me know down in the comments below and let's talk about it. Anyway guys, that is it for me. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.